Today, we'll be looking at the most recent product to come from Fellow, which is this, a sort of smart scale named Tally. Apart from being very Fellow looking in appearance, it does also have some functional innovations as well. So, is it worth the asking price, and how does it compare to other premium options like the Acaia Pearl? Let's find out. Now, before we get going, I do want to mention that this scale was sent to me by Fellow a little bit early so that I could make this very review. However, as always, that will have absolutely no impact on the contents of this video or the opinions I express in it. If you do want to check out this scale, I will have it linked down in the description below. Starting off with the design and build quality, this scale has followed the same finishing standard as the new Studio line of Stag EKG kettles, meaning that the top surface is glass, which works really nicely in combination with the tack sharp OLED display that we'll talk about the responsiveness of a little bit later on. The weighing platter is also metal, which also feels very premium and eliminates the need for any additional heat protection like you might see on a plastic scale, such as the Acaia Pearl. Now, one area throughout all Fellow products that confuses me a bit are the dials. This one, just like the one on their kettles, is technically a metal surface, but it just feels wobbly and cheap. For such a high touch point area on premium priced products, I have no idea why they aren't making the clicks more satisfying, maybe even with a knurled metal finish on the button itself. It would totally change the feel of the product and better suit the asking price. But so far, Fellow haven't heard my suggestion. However, even with the wobbly knob, the fit and finish on the Fellow Tally is still head and shoulders above the Acaia Pearl's 100% plastic build. While some might prefer the Pearl's simple looks, there is no denying that the Tally is the more solid of the two. And it should be, because here's something you don't hear very often, the Acaia is the cheaper of the two scales in this comparison. Now, something that absolutely contributes to the price tag that Fellow are relatively vocal about is that Tally is in fact designed for commercial use. So you can expect that the internal parts are going to match the same quality we're seeing on the outside. Now, one final note that leads me into the user experience is the cleaning of both of these scales. Tally has far more little nooks and crannies for dust and debris to collect in, and it's harder to get out once it does. The Pearl, on the other hand, is clean after literally one single wipe across the surface. It might seem like a small thing, but it was definitely something I noticed after a few weeks of real-world use. When it comes to using these two scales, their functionalities are largely the same, with each having one or two smart features. Both are USB-C chargeable, both have an accuracy of 0.1 grams, both have simple weight and weight plus timed modes, and neither are suitable for espresso use due to their sheer size and the lack of water sealing. The maximum capacity is slightly higher on Tally at 2.5 kilograms versus the 2 kilograms on the Pearl. Modes on the Tally are selected using a dedicated mode button, which cycles between weight only, weight plus time, and the smart brew assist mode, which gives Tally its mathematically themed name. When in brew assist mode, Tally will automatically convert the detected weight into the required water volume based on the brew ratio you can select using the dial. Once you have your dose in the brewer, you can then confirm by pressing the timer button, which tears the scale, and then waits for you to start pouring. Once you do, the timer automatically starts, and the scale starts counting up towards your calculated target weight. Once you reach the weight, the display turns white, which has actually saved me from overpouring a few times when I simply wasn't paying attention to my brew. Overall, I find this to be one of the best assisted brewing integrations I've seen to date on a scale, because it doesn't require an app, it doesn't require any fussy inputs, it just unobtrusively walks you through your normal brewing workflow, while also allowing you to use exact brewing ratios without really a second thought. And that mode had better be good because it's really the only feature on the Tally. It doesn't have any Bluetooth connectivity, it doesn't have flow rate analysis like on the Acaia Pearl, but to be honest, those two features are ones that I never really found myself using. Needing to pull out an app is way beyond my desired level of interactions, and my recipes simply aren't to the point where I'm worrying about milliliter perfect flow rates. The Brew Assist, on the other hand, I not only tried, but I genuinely kept using every day since getting it. Now, apart from accuracy and build quality, probably the most important but least talked about aspects of scales is their reaction time. And here is where Fellow really nailed it. The OLED display on the Tally not only looks fantastic, but it is fast to respond. I tested both of these scales using my camera at 120 frames per second and concluded that the Tally was actually responding as fast as the display could physically refresh, which was around 70 milliseconds. The Pearl, which is not a slow scale, was taking almost twice as long at 125 milliseconds. So I was really happy that those results backed up what I was subjectively noticing, which is that Tally is a super snappy and responsive scale. So, should you buy the Fellow Tally? From a pure value for money perspective, I have a tough time justifying the price tag. In order to give this product my wholehearted recommendation to you, it is expensive. However, if you are planning to use it in a commercial setting or just strongly value the build quality and aesthetic elements of your daily coffee routine, then the Tally might just be my favorite scale I have used to date. It is rock solid, super responsive, the OLED is beautiful, and the Brew Assist mode simply gets out of your way and is genuinely useful. Not to mention that it fits in perfectly with all the other Fellow gear. That brand is really creating a super compelling product ecosystem nowadays, and I'm excited to see what comes next. Again, if you want to check out this product, I will have it linked down in the description below. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave us a like and even consider subscribing if you want to see some more like it in the future. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.